something makes me turn back, so I look back, and he's pulling out a sword.
That was the last thing Chinoso Onuke saw before he was brutally attacked in his high school. Tonight, he's recovering from serious injuries and sharing his horrifying story. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Police are calling it a senseless act of violence within the halls of a Manitoba high school. And tonight we are hearing directly from the victim. CTV's Danton Unger is standing by with the details and a warning. Some of what you are about to hear is disturbing. Danton, tell us what happened.
Well, Marilee, as we've previously reported, it started during the lunch hour last week at the Neelan High School in Brandon. Police say a student wielding a sword attacked another student, leaving him with life-threatening injuries. CTV News met with the victim and his family to hear firsthand what happened.
Most of the tendons are cut. That's why I have all these things on as they heal.
15-year-old Chinoso Onuke is at home recovering with what police describe as life-altering injuries after a terrifying attack.
The whole thing happened so fast you would think it's a dream.
It happened here at the Neelan High School in Brandon on June 10th. Onuke, a grade 10 student at the school, says he was walking down the hallway during lunch when he saw someone.
I see a guy by there who's walking down the hallway in a black witch doctor mask, like I think a black bucket hat or something like that, and black trench coat. I look at him and I'm like, yo, this is kind of weird. This is Halloween or something.
He says he made a joke and then turned to walk away, but something made him turn around.
So I look back and he's pulling out a sword. Like, if you looked at it, it was like this. It was big.
And that is when the brutal attack began.
Before I can even think, he lunges at me, like, gets the first one in my abdomen or my leg. I don't know which one.
Onuke says he fell to the ground as the attacker continued slashing and stabbing his leg, shoulder, and chest.
It was all action, zero thought.
He says he managed to grab the blade, slicing 7 of his fingers in the process.
He tries to pull it. I don't let go. Then I push it away, and I just book it to the office.
Brandon police say another student called the school's resource officer, and within minutes, police arrived at the school, finding a 16-year-old student with a sword. Police say he was tasered and arrested and is now facing charges including attempted murder.
The quick thinking and the response of the student who called our school resource officer saved the day at the end of the day and prevented what would have been additional bloodshed.
Onuke required emergency surgery in Winnipeg, and he says when he woke up in hospital, he didn't believe what had happened to him.
I was just there, kind of like wondering, yo, did this actually happen or am I just dreaming? And then I looked down at my hands like, oh, this actually happened.
Now, remarkably, Marilee, Chinoso Onuke returned to school just days after the attack. And he says, while at first he was in a bit of shock, he says those feelings quickly subsided.
Oh, wow, Danton, he really seems unfazed despite the fact he almost died.
Marilee, it really is surprising to see how calm Chinoso is given everything he's been through. I mean, we asked what was going through his mind during the attack, and he says he really wasn't thinking at all. He was just taking action. And in the aftermath, Chinoso says he doesn't even think he's traumatized, though he does tell us sometimes people don't know they're traumatized when they actually are.
Yeah, true enough. All right, Dan, Chinoso described his attacker as wearing a witch doctor mask. What is that?
Well, we had to look that up, Marilee, and we have an image we can show you now. This is a drawing of the kind of mask. Yeah,
quite frightening.
Yeah, it's typically has glass openings for the eyes and a curved leather beak shaped like a bird's beak. It dates back to the 17th century and is also referred to as a plague doctor mask.
All right, this is strange. What about a motive, Danton? Have police identified one?
No, Marilee, not yet at least. Along with the attempted murder, the student has been charged with uttering threats, possessing a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and disguised with intent. Those charges have not been proven in court, and Brandon police confirm as of today that student remains in custody. Police say the Crown Attorney's Office is now reviewing the evidence and will determine if any further charges are warranted. And Marilee, I just got a call from Bob Harrison, the lawyer of the accused, and he confirmed that a provincial judge in Brandon has ordered a forensic assessment to determine if his client is suffering from any psychological or mental disorders.